Well, we're no different, so how about you start in prayer? I'll finish up when we're done.
Let's do that.
All right, man. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for just the blessing and your grace, your mercies that are new for us every day. We thank you for the provisions, that you're faithful, that even when we are unfaithful, we're filthy sinners, Father, that you still love us, that you forgive us, and you still make a way. We thank you for your Son that died on the cross for us, and we give you all honor and glory. Lord, we thank you for these people here that are at this table, and my wife, and all the work that we're all doing within our community, within our careers, within our passions. We just ask for a special blessing over that. And we know that we're here for such a season as this, Father, and you're doing something transformative within our community, and we get to be a part of that. We are quick to give you all the honor and glory, and we just give you thanks.
Amen.
Amen. Oh, you wanted to pray?
Pray out.
My bad.
Oh,
Amen, amen.
it's all good.
In the name of Jesus.
Jesus knows.
Hallelujah.
He knows what was going on there.
He knows. He knows.
Told you.
But,
He knows before we do.
hold on. My phone's reminding me that I'm in here. Hold on.
So you forget.
All right, so let's get with the program, everybody. So, hello and welcome to our other show called the Pre-Recorded Episodes of the Ben Herrera Show. Today we have a special guest, but first we got Tito. You're on this camera, Tito. Sorry.
I'm pretty
And
sure
then we got Marcos.
What's up, y'all?
And today we got Johnny Rodriguez from. He is the president and CEO of LAUP, which is Latin Americans United for Progress. So we thank you for being here today.
Thank you guys. Yeah.
So if you want to let people know who don't know what LAUP is and what the program is,
Yeah.
explain that to.
Yeah. Well, first, kudos, big ups to Black River Studios, and
Thank you.
walking through your door, you got your own facility. Number one, that's a huge step. But just walking through your door, we just see all the bros and people and women and leaders and men from our community. It was cool to see that in the walkway coming in. It's just our community. So
It was kind of a strange thing, man, because it was just like, where do we have all these pictures? What do we do with them?
yeah,
But we were going to put them here and here and here, and it was like, well, we have this big, huge walkway.
Yeah.
Why can't we put it there?
no,
It worked really
cool.
well.
Yeah, it's cool just to see, people we know, we grew up with, or were older than us, but whatever. Yeah.
Are you bringing me into this again?
Yeah, no. So just wanted to say, congratulations to Black River Studios.
Thank you.
And all you guys are doing. What you're trying to do hasn't been done before, especially led, by Black and Brown community at all. So it's difficult. So aquí estamos is what we say at LAUP. So any way we can serve and help anyway. Aquí estamos. But yeah, I'd love to share about LAUP anytime I get the opportunity to. So thank you. Latin Americans United for Progress. It's been around for 60 years this year. The first Fiesta took place in 1964. LAUP has been started to support the Latino community in many areas around, workforce development or employment, education, youth programs, advocacy in schools and housing and so forth, all these basic needs and sometimes barriers that existed for the Latino community back in the day, which it's interesting to tell you that those very same issues are very real today. And so just as important for LAUP and its mission to be strong in our community. And our mission is to empower Latinos to participate in creating a better community for all through advocacy, celebration, and education. So everything that we do falls under those three pillars. I grew up on 14th Street in Holland. I kind of always start with that, but I've known Tito for a really long time, and we were just talking, kind of off camera of where we've been and people we know and all those things. So it's always been a community of all. And for me, and I know our board and our team, is we want to be a great nonprofit in the city of Holland that's serving and impacting the community.
Correct.
And by the way, we're Latinos.
Yes.
Right. And so I think that's important to really understand that the vision is excellence. because our community deserves it. Our community needs it. And yes, we're Latinos, and that uniquely positions us to serve differently and impact differently.
Yes.
So that's who we are today.
Yep.
I will say, we've done, for LAUP, upskill and development of the community for many years. Community resource navigation, so bridging the gap to resources, that's foundational for LAUP and what we've done in these 60 years. We continue to do that. And we do that at a high level. We have a full-time community resource navigator at LAUP. We haven't had that before. We do translation and interpretation services. So something we recognized early on is across industry, across sector, there's not enough language services. There's not enough material in other language, let alone Spanish, but in other languages, and other communities and other languages are moving here and are here and been here. And we're kind of behind the ball when it comes to, you would have expected materials, signage to be in other languages, especially the Spanish community, when we've been here for 100 years, more specifically since the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So, these are all real things that we're working in, but we can't do it alone. And, we have to do it as a community, these things, and we need everyone in our community, not just Latinos. We need allies, we need partners, to just make the community the best it can be, and it needs to be equitable. And opportunities, we need to have access to opportunity, resources. And that's what we do. And so we still service, we partner with all these other nonprofits to get resources to our community. But the four things that we're focused on, the four things that we do, that we develop and we deliver, is foundationally transformative long-term programming. And what I'll tell you about our programs is how we go about doing that. But one of them is our youth program. We have expanded our youth program. 8th to 11th grade is Adelante, 9th grade is, or 12th grade is Más Adelante. We expanded to 8th grade after my first year of leading LAUP. The vision is to be cradle to career. And so we've also partnered with Holland Public Schools to start our elementary program, Aquí Jugamos. So we're starting to build that pipeline from elementary, middle school, and high school. So that's transformative. That's going to change generations, bringing resources, exposure, opportunities with workforce and college in our programs. The other one that we focus on is workforce development. So technology, work changes. And in my time, I've only been at LAUP for less than 3 years. But since I've been there, I've had employers call LAUP saying, we want to engage the Latino community better. We want to support them. How do we get more Latinos at our facility? So forth. So we knew employers were needing that. And work changes so fast, especially with technologies, that oftentimes, if you don't have access to the upskill and development, you're left behind. And that's what happens a lot of times in Black and brown communities. Not so much that we're deliberately pushed out, but because we don't access those opportunities. And so LAUP leading on workforce development is going to better impact the community. And then we just launched a small business hub in partnership with the MEDC, the state of Michigan, along with the West Michigan Hispanic Chamber. But again, we were getting calls early on when I started from Latino businesses saying, I can't go all the way to Grand Rapids. My accountant really messed up. I owe all this money. How do I get resources? Is there grants out there? I don't know how to go about doing it. And so we've been focused over the last 2 years on how do we bring resources to our community when it comes to small business. And I'm really proud and thankful to say that we started and have launched the small business program. Celeste leads that for us. And then our celebrations. So these 4 lanes are really where we're at LAUP and what we focus on the most. Everything else, we're going to partner. We're going to collaborate, because that's how it truly gets done. And when these collaborations happen, it's usually with other nonprofits or other agencies that have tremendous services, that are serving food, housing, clothing, and are bringing resources to the community. But they can better impact the Latino community if they partner with LAUP. And they develop and deliver those things. And so, but those 4 things are really transformative programming, and that is what we're focused on at LAUP. But that celebration piece is actually what brings us to Fiesta now. You think about Fiesta and Fiesta Week, we have to do celebrations with excellence. And we can't, that takes a lot of time, a lot of people, and most importantly, quite frankly, it takes a lot of money. And we've been able to work with tremendous sponsors that we can't, just wouldn't be possible without them foundationally. And then people from our community that say, man, we see what you guys are trying to do. We see the mission, and we want to get behind that. So, that's LAUP today, and the 60th year Fiesta is this year too. So
cool.
So what got you started with LAUP? What I can't say possessed, but what got in your heart that said, I have to do this. I want to present what I have to LAUP, so I can make them grow. What is it that you?
It's funny, man. Just how God works, in my past, I look back and can say I was getting prepared for this. Yeah. And there was times where I felt like, what the heck am I doing? Like, I shouldn't be here, or I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't feel like I have any special gift or talent that I really do very well or great, right?
You speak very well.
So, yeah, but anybody can speak well, right? So, but I look back and I remember walking down to the Civic Center for Fiesta. I remember singing Vicente Fernandez song, Llaves de mi Alma, at 7 years old in front of everybody at the Civic Center. I remember the Latino Alfaro, your dad's tournaments at the Civic Center, the Latino basketball tournaments. And LAUP would sponsor some of that, and we're still sponsored now. And I don't know if that LAUP was sponsored before, but we're back, And so, definitely. It's about that community. But so just having that, looking, in my career of, human resource talent acquisition manager, there was times there was bad experiences, really amazing experiences. But around 2020 or so, it was really, even 2016, it was really stirring in me, in my spirit. When you say possessed, it's kind of a different way.
Kind of different.
But it was in my spirit of like, man, I should be doing something in my community. Right. And through that time, I was always involved in my community. I was coaching basketball. I was involved with the Boys and Girls Club. I was, we all grew up in the Boys and Girls Club too. So, and I was their first board member. An alumni club member to be on their board, so I've been involved in my community, but I've never thought that I could have a career or work in my community, in a nonprofit, right? Those are things we're trying to change too, is like, as LAUP, we want to be a place where people feel like they can have a career. Because so many times, the mission gets lived out through people. And so many times in Black and brown nonprofits, we're expected to do more with less. And so we need to invest in the people that are making that change, and that's what you're seeing, man. So that's what brought me. I was sharing with you and about me and my wife, where I had an offer to go, do talent acquisition management in St. Joseph area, and I was presented. I applied, went through interviews with LAUP, and I was really, that was presented as well, and there was some hard, difficult decisions, especially as a family, that we had to make. And for that first year was very challenging, but I felt called to be there, and God's been faithful and provides funding and people. And so that's really what brought me to LAUP. I didn't know we could do this, and I didn't know what would happen, but I know I'm passionate about my community, and it has to be bigger than just me. And of course, you wake up every day. I have to figure out how to turn it off, quite frankly. I don't have to get myself to get going, to go to work and all these things. It's not anything like that. So yeah, that's what brought me to LAUP. But we've had a lot of people, from Tito to Martin to Alma to Abe, the whole board, Tim, Sal, all these people, that it's truly a community. But they needed some leadership. They needed somebody to say, "Aquí estamos. I'm here. Let's go. What are we doing? What are we gonna do?" And it's hard. We don't have it figured out. We're learning as we go.
That's what we're
trying
doing
to
here.
figure it out. Yeah.
Sometimes what it takes, like you said, you were put in this position and you bridged a lot of gaps. You made these connections with people because of what you do, and that's kind of what we're doing here.
Yeah.
With all these people that are hungry for something, but somehow we got to bridge that gap somehow, and they don't know how to do it. So That's what
we're presenting them how to bridge that gap.
It's about bringing people with us.
Yeah,
Bring them with you.
And that's what I tell Ben and everybody that comes through these doors is that nobody here is treated differently. Everybody's equal. Nobody's higher than nobody. Nobody's more less important. Everybody's important all across the board.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll never be put on the back burner here.
Right? And what you're doing, that's what I'm saying, is what you're doing is hard to do. And that's why nobody does it, right?
Right.
It's really hard to do. But there's not enough spaces for people to display their talents or gifts, especially here in Holland, right?
Right.
So what you guys are trying to do, kudos to you and keep it up because we need it and young people need it. But our adults need it. Our adults get forgotten about. Adults have dreams, right? Adults still want to do.
I'm 44 years old.
Right.
I'm serious.
I'm not even going to mention my age. I'm old.
Yeah.
But I do have a question,
Yeah.
and this is kind of for me, but probably for a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you guys do this. Do you guys teach people Spanish for their jobs?
Yeah, so it's Spanish as a second language. So, Educate, Elevate, Educate, Elevate is our workforce development program.
See, I didn't even know he said that.
Yeah, but as I mentioned, people were calling LAUP, and actually Gloria Lara and League of Ethnic, it's my name, but LIDA, League of Ethnic Alliance, Diversity Alliance, and I can't remember the name of it, but and they actually were the last ones to teach Spanish in our community, and they called me specifically and said, hey, we don't have capacity. It's actually like mission creep for us. It's not really part of our mission.
Right.
But we think, if you guys want to do it, we can tell people that you're doing it. I was like, all right. And I kept getting calls about Spanish. So I'm like, we need to do this. Let's do this. Nobody else is doing it. Let's lead on that. So that's how we started our Spanish second language. That was before we actually started our workforce development. Now all of our adult programs fall under Educate, Elevate. So we do. And then we partner. We have amazing partners, Gentex, Miller Knoll, Shape Corporation, Modus Technologies. We're working with Magnum Mirrors. But all of them, when you work in a collaborative with these amazing global headquartered here companies, it elevates the whole community.
Exactly.
Right? So we individualize our program with Educate, Elevate. What we know that for every 10 jobs, there's 6 people.
Right.
So employers don't have enough people. So that they also know that technology changes, workforce changes, and they need upskill and development. And if they want to just be consistently stable, they need to develop their people and attract more and be solid, right, in their people. But if they want to grow, they're going to need to continue to grow with people, and then they're also going to automate because there's not enough people for those jobs.
Exactly.
But the immigrants that are coming are going to be that X factor for them. So how do you better engage these immigrants that are coming from Mexico, Colombia, Nicaragua, Cuba? And we've had an increase in Cubans in our community. Yeah. So how do you better engage them? Well, LAUP has been that partner, has been that bridge for years. And so we leverage that and we work with them to say we can better impact our community with you. Because most of them say, and I'll tell you, 99% I'll say of organizations say they want a better impact and engage the Latino community. They do. They want to.
But they don't know how to go about it.
Right.
That's it.
They don't even know how to take that first step.
Yeah, and so, like, getting it out of our minds that these organizations don't like the Latino community or they're trying to oppress it. It's not that. It's they don't know how to do it. Now, is there disparities in representation of the leadership?
Yeah.
If they had more of us in leadership, maybe they'd know how to better bridge that gap, right? So that's what we're working towards in Educate, Elevate. It's how do we create that access and upskill and develop and look at the Latino community for the gifts and the talents that they have already. That's why aquí estamos. We're here. We already have gifts and talents. We've overcome so much. We have so many leadership skills. We sometimes manage a whole family. We know how to manage people and get things done, right? And we do more with less, quite frankly, and as Latinos. So we have those skills, but corporate America doesn't see that as gifts and talents. So that's where we partner with these employers to say, these are how you start looking at us, right? And then, yes, we know we need all these talents and skills and Excel spreadsheets and all these CRMs. We understand the project management. Yes, those are skills. But how do we, and some of these people that are coming are professionals in their country. So they have degrees already and have worked for years to attain that. So that's part of Educate Levate as well. So we're working with them to translate their degree, and then sometimes it's working with the employer. Said this person's an engineer. We've seen that with employers that say this person's an engineer in their country. I'm going to give them an opportunity to see if they can do it here, and we'll open that access for them because the employers need that, right? And our community needs it. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win all around.
So in some companies, they do have, I think it's called QS 9000. It's a program to run machinery, like running the CNC machines and the lathe machines and the drill presses and stuff. They got to have a degree just to run the machine. Is that something that like job training you guys do there?
Yeah, so it's specific. It's individualized. Although we do it in a collaborative, we work with each employer. And Maria Morales, shout out to our director of workforce development, Educate Levate. She is a certified national pipeline developer. So we do a business analysis that we go into. We send and work with these partners. They complete that, and that identifies the gaps. Where are your gaps today, and where are your gaps in the future, and how do we start putting in programs? And sometimes it's ESL, right? That's foundational to progressing within a business here, right? So you need to know English and master that. So sometimes it's ESL on site, and that's what we're working in. Sometimes it's SSL. So maybe it's your supervisors that you learn on that. And then sometimes it's an individualized thing, like you're saying, a certain program that's specialized to a certain company.
Yeah.
Let's work on a training plan just for our community and your workforce.
I mean, that would actually get more people to hire Latinos, or more Cubans or Puerto Ricans. You know what I mean? Just for the factor of, well, this program's in English, but this guy is bilingual. You can teach him how to do this. But in order to do that, you need to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From presidency all the way down to the worker, everybody needs to learn some kind of language. So there's no barriers. You know what I mean? Because I know in some companies I worked for, they didn't care if you spoke English or not. You're doing the job. Now you're going to sit there and watch these people for 5 hours and not say anything.
Right. Yeah. And that's dangerous. That's a hazard too. I mean, you don't even have your training stuff in your language, and so you're thinking about liability as a large company. So these are foundational things that need to be changed, or structures that need to be tweaked. But that's where LAUP can partner with these organizations to do it better, and not only leverage our social capital. The trust is so foundational. So, the Cubans are coming to LAUP. The Nicaraguans, Colombians, Mexicanos, Tejanos, people that have been here, they come back to LAUP, right? So there's a trust part in that. And
so they're trying to get that red tape out of the way.
Yeah, they want to. They don't know how.
That's just that red tape is a huge barrier between the Latino community and the Caucasian.
Yeah.
It's a big, huge thing, because even me growing up and trying to change my life over and, starting business, going to the city, it was like, well, you need to do this, and this. Well, I did this. But then they're like, well,
but then there's
we forgot this, and you got 5 more other things you got to do before you do.
Yeah.
Hold up. I already got $350 invested in applications. I got 5 more.
Yeah, and that's why all of our programming that we do, we walk alongside people in our community, because we need that, right? And so, some of that is that, but like we just started our small business hub. We go and we brought Start Garden, who does grants, to our workshop. So we have a small business hub, and Celeste Matute leads that for us. And when you think about needing access to those resources, how to tap into it, there's processes.
Yeah.
And there's things you have to do, very similar to nonprofits, right? There's grants, and you need to know how to write a grant. And that's a whole nother language, and that's a whole nother skill set. But so we walk alongside them we some of us, like Celeste, know what they need in terms of doing the business, and my wife Nini, and like how you get started in business, and then how to build a business plan, and those things that are foundational for you to be successful. We'll walk alongside you to do that. So, to your point, there's a lot of that systematic things that, intentional or unintentional, it's hard to access, especially if you speak or read a different language. Yeah. It's hard and confusing in English, right? Like, you think of forms like FAFSA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's not go there.
That's a swear word.
It is.
That is a horrible word.
No, it's done
actually. Okay, so here's a question that I was going to ask earlier, but Now, we talked off camera about how people join, how they would join your small business hub.
Yeah.
Explain how certain business. Now, is there certain categories for each type of business, or does it matter?
Not right now. As I mentioned, we just launched it. Celeste started going on 8 weeks ago now. And we just launched the Small Business Hub. So we just had our first cohort. Almost 30 people came to LAUP. And they come from different industries. So some is food, some is auto sales, some marketing. But a majority of them, I think there was 3 that were English speaking. The rest were Spanish. Right? So the whole presentation was in Spanish. And so, they're hungry for this. They're asking amazing questions. They're following up. And all to sign up, you can email Celeste at laup.org. So it's CELESTE at laup.org. Or just email us at info@laup.org or call us at 616-888-7225.
Of course, my pen's not working.
Yeah, no, and LAUP.org. We've got the staff on there. You can find us there. But we're on 17th Street over by Tulip City Brewstillery. So just stop by, call, find out our next cohort.
No free advertisement. No.
Yeah, our next cohort
We'll
is.
cut that part out.
Well, they're great partners. They support LAUP. But so come by, stop by. Celeste is amazing. She came, all of our team, man. I mean, you would look at the things that we're doing, and you would think that we have a huge staff. And
It's good. We had that first meeting on 17th.
Yeah.
With you.
Yeah.
So as we're going in, you have workers cleaning.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you guys had something was going on like later.
Some event.
Yeah, but either which way, it was very respectful.
Yeah.
She didn't give you most places when they go cleaning, they're like, they were closed. And she was like, oh, how can I help you?
Yeah.
And I said, working for Johnny. Well, I don't know. He's on lunch. And that. But she was talking in Spanish, so I'm talking back in Spanish.
Yeah.
Which I don't know Spanish. Everybody about it.
But that's okay. I mean, there's so many people in our community that are Latinos that were growing up told not to speak Spanish. Like, we're all Latinos.
I think it was
I learned through music.
The way we grew up, my parents
100,
didn't speak Spanish. I mean, they spoke Spanish, but they didn't speak Spanish to us.
Well, and when you're immersed in an English school,
True.
And all you do is your friend, you know what I mean? Like you'll use or lose it, that's the way it goes. Yeah. But and we've got an awesome team, and that's, we have a mindset of aquí estamos, that, for us, we actually changed the logo from learn today, lead tomorrow, because aquí estamos means we're here. We've been here, and we have gifts and talents today. We don't have to learn to lead tomorrow. Yes, if we were just a youth program, that makes sense. All of us need to learn and continue learning. Right. But we have gifts and talents right now. Our community has gifts and talents, and it's a beautiful thing. But when you say thank you in our community, we say aquí estamos. Like, don't worry about it, right? Yeah. And so that's the mentality of, if you're going to work at LAUP, you better be ready to serve. Yep. Right, that's the mentality. So we're here to serve, and aquí estamos. So I'm glad you felt that way. It's a challenge because we have a small team. We have 7 full-time team members, and I say we have a badass team, man, because our leaders from Maria, Julian, and then Beatriz, Estrellita, Marlene, Vanessa. There's so many people that get involved, and then we have people that are on our board that were instrumental in just keeping LAUP surviving. And then now we've had to understand, like, you were a working board when I started. You can't continue to remain working, and it's just not sustainable. It shouldn't be that. It should be a proper organization ran by staff and the board governance over that, and we're getting to being a governance board. But that's been a challenge too. You come in and there's several people on our board that, probably had a different vision of what they would be doing at LAUP, because a lot of them, it was a working board. And at the time, we really had a youth program and a Fiesta. And so if I'm coming onto a board that does those things, then I think I'm helping the youth and planning Fiesta. We're so much more than that. Fiesta is really about bringing resources to the community, but it should also be at every event that we do should also be about supporting the organization, because that's
Correct.
the most important thing.
Correct.
If LAUP ceased to exist, it would be terrible for our community.
Right.
So we need to sustain ourselves,
Very true.
but we've had a lot of support from the community, whether it be foundations, whether it be employers. Man, I can't tell you how many people say, like, yeah, we see it, man, we want to be a part of it. The mission's important, you know, and it wouldn't be possible without that.
A lot of people want to be a part of what you got going on. That's how they see it now.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Tito's here. Thank you for joining us.
For sure.
Welcome, Tito. I don't know why I said it like
So
that.
real quick, music-wise,
It's the
entertainment.
limited Spanish.
Entertainment.
The little bit of white came out.
So, where did you start with LAUP? What got you involved with LAUP? Was it the basketball? Was it the friendship? Was it?
I mean, I think, man, going to the beginning, they were gonna, I think it was right after COVID around that time, they were gonna host an event to kind of bring community back together, because, you know, we were down for whatever, the COVID time. And I really don't remember how it started, but I got a hold of Martin one day and just talking about things, and, you know, obviously Johnny came on board there too, and we were talking about this event, and everybody's seen I've been DJing for I don't know how many years, doing this and that. Everybody sees it on Facebook, whatever. So you just started from there. That first event, it was a good one. What was the name of that event at Collins Park?
Back together again.
Back together again.
Yeah, Martin Belize is the board
Okay.
president. Yeah.
Yep. So that's kind of where it started, as far as me DJing with LAUP and being that guy, and then just more opportunities just continued, and different fiestas and things like that, what they saw, what they wanted to do, back to school events, things like that. So that's how I got involved.
I always wondered that, too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we all did, because it was like I've known you for years since you were. I'm not gonna say that, but I've known you for years. But the thing is I never knew how you guys got involved.
Right.
You know, so to hear that, I'm going.
I mean,
Oh.
there we can go even way back. You know, Johnny.
Well,
He used to play
basketball.
He used to play basketball with my
He's right,
dad and
yeah.
all that. So my dad has been here in the Holland community,
And he's
for
been part of the community.
30 plus years, just through sports for mostly Latinos, right? So when I got to be the age where I'm able to take things over or advance them, because you know, why are we just doing the Latino tournament? We can do this, you know, because everybody wants to play, but you guys are only doing this kind of tournament. So it turned into that. So I'm like, okay, well, let's turn this on. So it became like that. But Johnny, people like Carlos Lopez, Mayor of Fenville, all that kind of stuff, those all came from things that my dad did way back then, just bringing the Latinos to be able to hoop together, you know, just like out of that.
I'll say, just to echo what you're saying, I think at that time that was the right thing to do. You know what I mean, and we needed that. And there were you know, rec departments very similar. Our community wasn't accessing those rec departments. I don't even know if there was leagues back then, but that was a time that was needed for those Latino tournaments. And as you and I got older, it started being like, it was always a community of all, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, let's
Yeah.
I don't believe there was a leader. I believe it was somebody who wanted to take charge and make a difference. You know what I mean? It wasn't a leadership. It was everybody was too afraid to start it because they're afraid of denial. Your dad took the fear and said, "I'm going to hit it head right on. I'm going to take care of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to change it. I'm going to change this part. I'm going to do this. I'm going to." And it started. It created a bridge. So now, last event I went to was at Salvation Army.
Yep.
I mean, you saw all types of people, and they were all getting along. They said, "Why can't Holland be like that?" It's everybody
Bring
segregated, you know.
bring community together through sports. That's what that mission was.
And speaking of, you know, coming together, music.
Yeah.
You guys have a concert coming up,
Yeah.
September 20th, which is the Palominos,
Yeah.
and then
July.
Sunday with the Car Club.
July 20th.
July 20th. Sorry. But yeah, music puts the
What?
sorry.
None of
But music puts people together as well.
Correct.
I mean, now, even the last event that you guys had, you saw more of a Caucasian crowd come in, and they were enjoying our culture. They were enjoying what we had going. You know what I mean? You guys had a lot of stuff going, and with music, it bridges a lot of stuff because you
Yeah.
saw a lot of people dancing.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's what Fiesta was for as well. And since 1964, it was really about bringing all of the community together.
Yeah.
And so we're just standing on shoulders of giants, right? We're just adding. They built the they made the way.
Lupe Reyes.
Yeah, Lupe Tino, Juan Vasquez, Tim Marroquin's grandpa.
Oh, Juan Vasquez.
You know,
Okay.
like all these people. But beyond that, like your dad, those are the founders, and rightly so. They should be honored. But when you think about how they did what they did back in the day, and they'll tell you themselves, man. I saw like a Fiesta insert of a Sentinel, and there's all these committees and people leading these committees, and that's what we're doing today. There's all these different committees for different events, and so it really does take a whole community. Yeah. But yeah, I think the other thing with you, Tito, we go back, through hooping and school and stuff, but. With LAUP, you guys, you had the back to school event. That was before I came on, and then I came on, and it's really been about how do we elevate and give space and opportunity to people that have these talents and skills. I tell you all the time, I think you're the best DJ in Michigan, man.
Yeah.
I think you are.
That's why he's here, because I want the best of the best here.
And you see the work that gets put in, and that just doesn't just happen. And so we have a lot of people in our community. Hector Stupinian sang at our Tulip Time partnership at Collin Park with the fireworks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he said on the mic, he was like, I'm living out a dream when I first got to Holland that I would sing on this stage for the community. Mm-hmm. And so, and I think he's one of the best singers I've ever heard. Mm-hmm. So, and he's an older adult, man, and like, he sang with mariachis and stuff like that, but he could have his own album and really, he's that great of a singer. Mm-hmm. Anyways, why we do what we do is to elevate other people. Mm-hmm. But then, Tito was all about community. Like, you could have been charging us up the wazoo for the last few years, and it was only of like.
Well, speaking of that, he gave me a payment plan.
As and I was like, this is where we're at today, and as we grow, and then we elevate everyone, but we bring others with us. So you look at everything that's going on at Fiesta.
Let's get into that.
How we don't get impressed,
So we got Fiesta coming up July 15th to the 21st.
Yep.
If you want to go down the list, explain everything, let people know, hey, the prices, obviously, you can see it, but people aren't going to pay attention to that most of the time.
Yeah, so actually, our website, laup.org/fiesta, or you can go right to our website, click on the Fiesta button, and it has a rundown of every event, where it's taking place, price, time, all the information. Also has all of our sponsors on there, so please check it out. Thank them when you can. It has all of our food trucks that'll be present. So it's really a landing page. Actually, my wife started our second year, I think, our second Fiesta. So, but we've added to that and been working with Yellow Line Creative, and they actually put this website together as well. So we'll start July 15th with a film. My dream for Fiesta is that we have a film every Monday kicking off the week of Fiesta. And this year we're partnering with First Voice Generation, Cynthia Martinez. It's produced that. And she actually followed 3 first-generation college students, I believe 2 from West Otto and 1 from Holland. And this was during COVID. So you get a unique perspective of that time. Yes, and so they were trying to get through high school, graduate, and go to college, and everything shut down and virtual, and having to deal with that. So you get to see that on top of being a first-generation college student. So shout out to Cynthia and all her support. This will be showing at Martha Miller Center at Hope College, and it's $10 per ticket. You can pay there at the door, and we'll be showing it all day. So at 2 p.m., 4 p.m., and 6 p.m., and it's really a film that's going to create, just some thought, some discussion of, experiencing through their eyes, their perspective of what it is to be a high school student, be a first-generation student. But also we'll create discussion at the 6 p.m. one. We have a panel of the actual students that were in the film. Julian Lugo, LAUP's youth director programs, he will be part of that panel as well. It's $10 per ticket to come in to watch the film. Please support it. Cynthia Martinez has been gracious to say all the proceeds from that film will go to our Más Adelante Scholarship Fund.
Nice.
I mentioned off camera that we've had $30,000 over the last 2 years given from our Más Adelante Scholarship Fund,
Okay.
which when we do events throughout the year, we earmark portions of that to put in our scholarship fund. So this is a great way for us to add to that.
Yeah.
So thank you, Cynthia, for that. But that's Monday, July 15th, 2, 4, and 6 p.m. at Hope College, Martha Miller Center. Tuesday is another big thing, first ever Latin Experience Symposium. As you see, our title sponsor for this year's Fiesta is Grand Valley State University, and we've developed a great partnership with our 8th graders on their pathway, but also they've just been great partners in trying to better engage and invest into the Latino community. And part of that is sponsoring Fiesta. The other part of that is we want to create discussion around what is positive change look like where Latinos live, learn, and earn, right? And to do that, we're going to have this first ever Latin Experience Summit. We have Doctora Delia Fernandez from Michigan State University. She's a history professor. She's also written a book on the Latinos' contributions in the state of Michigan. And so she will be our keynote sponsor. This starts at 4 p.m. And actually, Lupita Reyes and myself will be kicking it off with like a community conversation with each other. And then we have a panel that's made up of high school, college students, and business and education professionals. I mentioned Judge Bocanegra will be there.
Yep.
Guillermo Cisneros will be there. We have 2 of our Más Adelante students there. So really great panel. We'll talk about what's action? What's a call to action? What are we going to do about these things that we're discussing? And it can't just be on LAUP, right? This is a community thing. You can't just expect LAUP to solve systematic or things that have been around for hundreds and thousands of years, right? So it can't just be a LAUP thing. It really has to be a community conversation, and then how we go about that. You'll also see there that we're partnering with Mezcla. So shout out to Patty Vasquez and their family over at Mezcla. And they're doing amazing things downtown Holland. Mm-hmm. And after the symposium, we invite you to go have $2 tacos at Mezcla.
Oh, that was
After
awesome.
Tuesday.
And it's free. The symposium's free.
I'm going to get on this.
So, if anybody hasn't even tested the food over at Mezcla, I'm going to tell you right now, it's marvelous.
Actually,
Immaculately
delivered food
cooked.
to them the other day.
The waitresses treat you with respect, and they treat you like your family. You go in there, they seat you down, and it's just like, this is what's our menu, this is what we do, but I'm going to give you a menu, but I'm just letting you know, this is our special, blah, blah, blah. And then they give you the menu, and they're like, so what do you want to drink? We have a special, here we go. And then I got treated like royalty when you get there, It's just like, wait a minute.
And it's
I'm not like this, wait a minute.
Aesthetically, it's
I'm in Holland.
an amazing setup too, right? So they've done a really
oh my
good
God,
job.
it's
beautiful in there.
The
nice-
whole
it's
aura,
a
the
nice
whole
setup.
aspect of you go in there and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
You walk in not knowing what to look for, but you get in there and this is like, okay.
Yeah.
You'll be at wow when you get in there. So
Yeah.
as soon as you get in there, it's like wow.
Yeah. My conversation with Patty, I mean, everything was intentional in there, right? Everything was strategically done at a high level for a reason. On top of they just
That's
have
why I like it so much.
They have great food, yeah. And they're Latino storefront right downtown 8th Street. That's a big deal. And so we wanted to elevate them in some
Get the
way.
burrito.
Set-
Get the burrito.
The burrito's fire.
The
yeah.
burrito.
That burrito, that's
Say-
fire.
You said it
But-
like I would.
But
The
$2
burrito.
tacos, right after, and they're going to clear out their space, so it's going to be like we expect a lot of people to be down there, so it's going to be like a strolling dinner essentially. Get your tacos and start talking to people.
Yeah.
Right. Like what was the conversation we just had? So that's the Latin Experience Symposium, free at the Holland Civic Center on Tuesday, July 16th from 4 to 7, and then we go over to Mezcla. Wednesday, July 17th, we're partnering again with the City of Holland or Downtown Authority at the Civic Center for the Farmers Market. Herrick Public Library does a bilingual book. Mali Rios, shout out to her from the Herrick District Library who does that book. And then LAUP, we actually have our instructor from our Salserines group. So we teach parents and kids how to dance salsa. And then this year we're partnering with Jomari's Paradise, and they're bringing fruit cups and we'll have tajin and chamoy. And so we're giving fruit to these young people at the farmers market, just giving them that Latino feel, right? That Latino culture. So that's a great partnership. That's 9:30 to 11:30, and that's at the farmers market, a free event as well. Thursday, we will have the street performers. And so last year we had Pablo Lopez, Lowrider, and another classic car out there. We're hoping to bring those back, so we'll have a car show. We'll actually be right down on 8th Street over by the Marriott there, the splash pad. Yep, so we'll actually be right there, and we're having, Hector Estupiñán is singing, Ballet Folclóricos, Sol Azteca, another great partner here in Holland.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we have Salserinas dancing. So it's really street performers, but LAUP, stamp on it. So that's a great partnership that we have. But that is Thursday from 6:30 to 8:30. That's all free as well. And then Friday of the week, July 19th, Mexicuba and Hector Estupiñán. Hector Estupiñán will open for Mexicuba on Friday at the park. Concert in the park. Friday, July 19th, starting at 16. Yeah, Collin Park. Yeah, Collin Park, the band shell there. Yep. And Mexicuba. So, they play a little bit of merengue, salsa, cumbia. And as we think about who we are and who our community is, we're Latin Americans United for Progress. And so there's all these Latinos. I mean, it's super diverse, even within the Latino community.
Yeah.
We're not monolithic. And so we need to understand and try and celebrate that, other Latinos are here. And that's why we went with Mexico on that Friday. They played tremendously, and we're excited to partner with them. And concert in the park. So again, the city parks department more than willing to partner with us. So we thank them. We're thankful for that.
Yeah.
And then the 60th LAUP Fiesta kicks off on Saturday, July 20th at 11:30 a.m. And all the favorite things. Inside entertainment. And if you want to go through the entertainment, but we have the food outside, food trucks. We have 9 food trucks that'll be out there. We have a kids activity. Reptiles LS will be there, so that's cool. Partnership with him, and then we have Saugatuck Center for the Arts, Boys and Girls Clubs, all these youth serving organizations with youth activities for the kids, and then the what's been known as the Mercado for many years. Mm-hmm. All these resources for the community, from employers to nonprofits to government to vaccines. We'll have vaccines. We'll also have, you can get your blood glucose check and everything in there too. So
especially
really,
after all those doctors.
Yeah. The other thing too, that we'll talk on the entertainment if you want to go through that, but for the first time ever, we'll have Fiesta beer. Oh. And we partnered with City.
Partied with them.
Yeah. Not yet.
Yeah.
That's going to be July 20th.
That's later.
That's in his mind already.
No, but we partnered with City Built Brewery, Edwin Colazos, Puerto Rican, doing great things out in the Grand Rapids area. And they're actually doing a label that has a City Built art, but also Fiesta and the 60th anniversary on it.
Hey, nice.
So you're going to want to get that at Fiesta. Buy four, 2 for yourself and 2 to that's a memorabilia, collectible. We'll but we also the Civic Center's been great too. So they're actually purchasing that from Edwin and selling it at the Civic Center.
Nice.
Reina's Michelada mix. Reina's from Grand Haven.
Yep.
They're selling her stuff there too. Mi Gente beer. So the Fiesta beer is a lager. So you could buy the Fiesta beer, put it into the Michelada mix, and you're good. He'll also be selling Mi Gente as well, another city-built brewery beer. That that one's a IPA. So that's a cool thing. So make sure you get that. Mm-hmm. And then you want to talk about the day portion of the Fiesta?
So during the day, outdoors, we're gonna have all the food trucks there, some of the best from in the area. We'll have a live DJ out there playing everything for all that time frame while everybody's outside. But while everything's going on inside, we kick it off with a super talent show that's going to go on. After that, we got Hector Estupiñán will open up. He'll do his singing. I got Grupo Viento going to be on stage. I got another band, Los Parientes de Durango. They're going to be there as well. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
after that,
Ballet
Ballet Folklorico after that.
Yeah.
So we'll
And
get those all, and shout out to Azteca Promotions for bringing Viento and Los Parientes for the day portion of the entertainment.
Yeah, yeah, and thanks for your work on that, man,
Yeah,
and
sure.
Martin too. But a special shout out to Chris Garcia, who's doing a live mural for us.
Critter.
Critter. Yeah,
Critter.
we talked about just people in our community using their gifts and talents, and we've been able to partner with him. Last year was amazing, but my wife and I actually went to his shop to talk about the kind of inspiration and feel for this year. And I'm really excited for what he's going to produce. I can't tell you what it's going to be. You have to be there on Saturday. It's going to be, and I think because we're doing 2 days of Fiesta. Sunday's the car show. I think he's going to it's going to be a 2-day mural. But,
City walls.
yeah, Tulip City Walls. Sorry. Yeah. But shout out to Critter, Tulip City Walls. But they're going to be doing a live mural during the day. And then we get to the night portion, right? And in order to do that, we have to kick everybody out, and we flip the whole Civic Center. So we have a ton of volunteers that come out. Thank you to all those that volunteer, our board, our team. And we take all those tables and shove them under the stage and get all the round ones out and start setting up for
That's
the
really
mighty.
cool.
Yeah, they go under the stage. But started kicking off. You're going to kick off 6:30. The doors will open. DJ 2-3, the best of the best, kicking that off. And then Los Escoltas de la Sierra will be starting at 7. And then Mexicuba's back. They'll be playing right before the headliner, 2-time Grammy Award winning Los Palominos. So we're really excited about that. It's going to be a great night. VIP sold out. The whole first floor is sold out. There's still general admission tickets, and that's the top floor. You get those stadium seats, so it's comfortable seating. But then you also have the dance floor that's on the second floor. There's tables and chairs there, so you can sit around the dance floor if you want to. And then you'll have access to a bar on the second level as well. But that's awesome. Yeah, so that's still open. And then Sunday is the car show.
Yes.
So we're super excited about that. The last 2 years, we've had a car show on the Padnos lot up the street there. And Padnos was great to let us use that. But we knew, when we used to go to Fiesta back in the day, the car show was at the Civic Center parking lot. And so many people in our community were like, hey, when's the car show coming back to the Civic Center? Yeah. So Farmers Market's a beast, man. They do a great thing and have a lot of people come out. So we've been able to finish out the week. We changed to the car show being Sunday. Takes up that whole Civic Center lot. We have about 200 cars that are going to be out there. Amazing cars. Yeah. So come check that out. And then we have awesome entertainment throughout the day as well. Grupo Fierro, so shout out to those guys. Estrellas de Oro, man, I love talking to those guys. Pachuco,
he was
and everything.
He was there last week.
Yeah, he was here actually like a week ago.
Awesome. So they'll be there, and then I think we have Hermanos 616.
Los Hermanos 616, again, that's one of the bands out of GR with Azteca Promotions. So, younger group that plays.
616, that's George Martinez's kids, aren't they?
I'm not sure who they are.
Yeah,
I haven't met them before, but they play corridos tumbados and things like that. So it just brings a different feel to the car show. So should be good.
The food trucks will stay. So the food trucks will be there all day. So starting at 11 on Sunday, and then the concession at the Civic Center will be open. Oh. So if you want a michelada during that time, that'll be a good time to do that. But they'll be selling the Fiesta beer as well. And
we just ask that you drink responsibly.
Yes.
Of course, yeah.
Drink responsibly.
So that's LAUP Fiesta 2024, the 60th anniversary Fiesta and Fiesta Week.
I'm excited.
Week.
So your full week. Special shout out, thank you to Grand Valley State University, our title sponsor. GRCC is our community engagement sponsor. They've been title sponsors in the past and continued and came back. We're so thankful for them. And then some new, this year we had a new sponsor, entertainment sponsors, and part of credit union stepped up and said we want to better engage and be participating.
Really?
Yeah, and
how interesting.
That's my bank.
Come on now, it needs to be. Well, I'm gonna have to switch right now, man. But that's just
you switch.
That's a big deal, man. I mean, they recognize Carmen and their team.
Carmen,
and they're like, we have a lot of Latinos that bank here. And it's like, yes. But And then the other entertainment sponsor, new sponsor, was West Michigan Dealers of Toyota. We have Nate Coster over at Toyota and Crown. They partnered with the West Michigan Dealers to make that title or that entertainment sponsor, which is a big deal. Yeah, so those are big ones. So thank you to West Michigan Dealers of Toyota, Crown Toyota. Thank you, Parda. And, our Más Adelante sponsors, event sponsors. We had 39 sponsors this year.
Nice.
That's
awesome.
This
That's beautiful.
all this, the bands, the quality entertainment, the quality programming doesn't get done without this whole community.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you to all the sponsors for all the support. Fiesta is a huge thing for us, but LAUP is not just Fiesta.
Yeah.
We're serving at a high level our community with transformative programming. This is part of it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I'm excited. I mean, this is actually a lot more than what I remember.
Yes.
Honest, I've been to several of them in the past, but not like this. I mean, this is a lot to handle.
Yeah, man, praise
It's a
God.
lot.
That's
Yeah.
what we're here to do,
And that's
man.
the thing is like
Yeah.
it's growing.
Yeah.
Didn't it get canceled a couple times? Because I remember there was times where I'm like I didn't hear about it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Well, it got moved to the north side.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah, it got moved to the north side. I don't know what happened with COVID, if
Oh, that's
they
probably
didn't do
what
it with any of that.
Yeah, I don't think COVID
Probably.
anything happened then.
because we couldn't have those
That's
things.
true.
So
That was nothing.
that was a rough time for Fiesta
Oh,
or
yeah.
LAUP in general.
For sure.
Yeah. So, but a couple of things that we moved it to July. It used to be the first week of May,
Yes.
and it was always LAUP Fiesta, but people thought it was Cinco de Mayo.
Mhm.
But it was preluded Tulip Time.
Yeah.
And one of several reasons, Tulip Time's a huge monster, right? So they have everything reserved and they do this whole thing. But beyond that, it's hard to do a fiesta when it's cold, and sometimes in May it's cold. But it was also to say we need our own time, we need our own space, and kind of to take it back too, right? Because when you think about Cinco de Mayo, it's something that was driven by Anheuser-Busch in the '80s.
Yes, it was.
It's commercial, corporate, right? So it's really an American holiday. It's not really celebrated like it is here in Mexico.
Yeah.
Puebla's, it is, and it's an important historical battle.
Yeah.
But for us, it was about we need our own time, and let's take that back, and let's do it in July, and it's worked out that way. So, but now we also had to move it back to the Civic Center. It was like if we're doing it more than just one day,
Exactly.
and for 58 years.
Yeah.
58 years, Fiesta was one day.
Yeah.
And so we came in saying, we feel called to bring change.
We're more than this.
And part of it is excellence, doing it at a high level. And
You can't-
serving our community in the ways they need to be
You
served.
can't teach them everything in one day. I mean, you probably could, but that's too much.
Yeah.
So it's like for the full week, it's like exactly what you need.
You hit a lot of different demographics too in the community.
Exactly.
So
I think
Yeah.
this is gonna be fun.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the lineup and everything you got going. I want to check out that movie.
Now, what is this side?
Yeah, please. Yeah. What is what?
What is this side?
Oh, the Spanish side.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we
What
got
is
it.
mercado?
We got SSL, Spanish Second Language at LAUP.
Okay.
For real. Sign you up, man. But,
Yeah, sign up,
man.
man. Sign up.
I'm gonna sign up right now here.
yeah.
Well, that's why I brought that up too, because I was like, man, I need to learn Spanish.
yeah.
I always wanted to learn. I mean, because you got apps and stuff, but I'm like, I don't got time for
What's great about what we do is it's high conversational. It's not like ABCs, and then we have bilingual, bicultural instructors. So sometimes I've heard a lot of people that go to our classes say, "I've tried an app, it just doesn't work for me." So
Yeah.
being in a classroom setting and having that instruction, and then we also have like an immersion. So
No,
for where you're going.
Teaching. Now you're doing the proper Spanish, or you're doing the kind of because every language is a little different, man.
Yeah, it's try-
Because I got an F in Spanish.
It's
And
probably
it's just because I was saying something. It
Well,
wasn't Garo. It
You
was,
you kept swearing. So.
well, that's the other thing. That was at the teacher.
Yeah. So it's proper Spanish
Okay.
is being taught, but Spanish is different.
You'll still never understand us. No.
I apologize.
No.
Not my fault.
Yeah, that's all right.
But all All right. Yeah, you know, it's going to be a fun week, July 15th to the 21st. Right here in Holland, Civic Center. Where's this? Oh, I saw it somewhere. Where's it?
Yeah, so there's different locations throughout the week, but LAUP.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, LAUP.org. Click on the Fiesta. It'll give you all the rundown every day. I truly hope we hope to see everybody out there. You know, every day. Every day is something a little different. Supporting in a different way and learning in a different way. You know, I know there's so many people that are excited about this, from our sponsors to people in the community, but the city of Holland, I know they're excited about this.
Let me backtrack this real quick. Now, is this the first time you guys had a full week like this? Or has it been?
Yeah, first time for a full week. Last year we went Wednesday to Saturday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, remember that, everybody. This is our first full week of Fiesta 2024.
Show that support, man. Show that support.
I'll check this on the screen.
Go to LAUP on Facebook too, and they got
Oh, yeah.
save the dates, calendar reminders, all that kind of thing. So, someone like me, I block out my whole week for this. So, we want everybody out there too. Hey, if you can't make every day, at least see what you can do.
Oh, we already blocked our days off. so-
Enjoy what we're offering. What we put a lot of
Oh,
hard
okay.
work behind the scenes to make this happen for our community. So we want you guys to enjoy it. So support us the way we support you.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
really
Come on.
how I feel about it.
Yeah, very well said, man. And just thank you to all the committee. The Latinx Experience Symposium has a committee of close to 20 people, I think 15, 20 people.
Okay.
Carol de Alvade with Farmers Market, Downtown Series, Concert in the Parks Department, Fiesta, our whole Fiesta committee has been working almost a whole year trying to put everything together. And then special shout out Tony Leal, Gabe Tapia, and those guys who lead our car show. So, as I mentioned, it takes a whole community. So, thanks for having us, and congrats on your studio, Black River Studios,
Appreciate it.
and excited for what's to come here. And que estamos, and let us know how we can serve. But thank you for the support.
One question before we take off. What could Black River Studios do for you?
We'll talk more about that. We need photography, we need video, there's partnerships that can be had.
You need cuteness. I got it.
When we need cuteness, we'll put you on.
Yeah,
There you go. I'll be in the front.
No. All right.
All right. Well, Johnny, we thank you for being on. We appreciate you. We appreciate everything that LAUP does with you and your team.
Praise God.
Of your wife as well.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun event. Tito, thank you for being in.
For sure.
Thank you for all you do as well.
Oh,
yeah.
The greatest DJ to ever come out of Holland.
Let's go.
Michigan.
Yeah,
I still got a lot of work to do. Hey.
No, you're good, dude. You're
Alpha.
if there was a Hall
Hey, you
of
should
Fame.
make a cool baby to Alpha.
Ooh.
My dude.
All right,
You guys stay with
we
till
thank-
4 o'clock in the morning.
All right. Yeah. All right.
All right, well, we thank everybody for joining. This will be on pretty much all platforms, audio part, and then the video will come soon on YouTube, and then I'll share that. Thank you for joining, and everybody have a good night.